So I was talking about the light heavyweight division. One of my friends, Greg Kirkfleet from Penn State, we were discussing Paul Craig, and we came to the conclusion that Paul Craig is not a man that fights. He's not an MMA fighter. He's a guy that does jiu-jitsu that just happens to get into fights, and that is, we came to that conclusion after seeing a few of his fights, and that's what I'm going to try to emulate here. Of course, going against Johnny Walker, he did get KO'd by Johnny Walker. So we're trying to not get that fit, and of course he stands up and goes for the Nebo. Nice, very good, very good. Paul Craig is set to make his middleweight debut this weekend at UFC London. Tom Aspinall versus Marcin Tybura is headlining that card. So he's not in the middleweight division, so obviously we're here in light heavyweight. I do think he'd be a fun addition to the middleweight division if we were able to get him. Go for the back. He gives it. No fucking way. Oh, brother, you gotta fight back. Yeah, this is okay. It's quicker than I expected. Yep. He is done. He is done. This is wow. Didn't expect this to happen so soon. Kind of disappointed, honestly. I was expecting more of a fight, but I guess we'll set it with this as an introductory type of thing then. But Craig is going down to middleweight. How well he will do in middleweight with the same game plan that he usually plays, I don't know how well it's going to translate. He does have it. I mean, again, he has a win over the Magomed Ankalaev, has a win over Jamal Hill, right? Has a win over, who else did he beat Nikita Krylov? I think he beat Nikita Krylov. So subs over like guys in the top 5 of light heavyweight. The losses the guys aren't in the top 5 of light heavyweight. So let's see where his success is going to bring him with this style. The dangerous style of pulling guard relentlessly and throwing a couple fuck you punches and kicks to try to make something happen. So, yeah. And by the way, back mount rear naked choke, hard to get to. If you guys get in that position, you get that sub, you've earned that sub. It is one of the strongest subs in the game for very, very good reason. Man, we gotta try to do this to this game plan. We just took a bad L in a fight we were winning. I was so annoyed I just had to walk out, and I said, alright, I'll get back. And I was fighting against this Cormier. I'm gonna take him down. And I had the submission locked in. The sub went to the complete, the bar was full, and it allowed him to escape. Ended up in mount. And then I went to block a strike in the bottom full mount. And then the game decides to disable the block in the middle of the ground and pound sequence. And Paul Craig allows himself to get TKO'd by Daniel Cormier. I was very, very annoyed. Very annoyed. I should have recorded it, maybe to try put it as a little throwaway clip in the middle. Because I'm so annoyed by this that I'm going to make this the last fight. I'm so annoyed. I messaged Marshall Mind right after. I was like, yo, bro, this fucking game. I was so fucking pissed. Oh, jeez. Trying to emulate Paul Craig is a very, very difficult process. Because I'm dying. I'm living and dying by the sword of what I need to do to make this showcase work. I watched this fight against Volkan Ozdemir. I watched this fight against Jamal Hill. I watched this fight against Magomed Ankalaev. Like, the dude is live or die by the sword of pulling guard by any means necessary, and to look for these triangle chokes. This guy's gonna get up, and no. You are going to get in my guard. Do you see me? Look at me. Look at me. That was cool at the idol. Turn on there. No, he's gonna back up. No. We're gonna live and die by this. I'm going to give you guys the best Paul Craig showcase I can possibly give you all. Of course, the issue with him too is recovery is not too great. Doesn't have turns. So when we shoot, if we don't get a stamina advantage and we try to turn, we're pretty much gonna give everything up. And that was kind of the issue that I've been having. We're trying to keep the shot short. There we go. We can't even bail. I'm noticing that the clinch control stat actually does matter. If the guy's retreating once you get to the double under position and you don't input the bail right away, and they're not already moving back. They're actually able to kind of just back out away from it, which is actually a nice little touch. Little touch there. Just kind of balance things out. But yeah, I was so annoyed at that. I was like, you fucking kidding me? I let the whole thing play out. Turned off the console. And I was like, yep. This is why we don't. This is why. No. We're sticking to this. You can tell me all you want. I am living by this fucking game plan, and you're gonna fucking respect it. Oh fuck. It is fun. Like, it's fun. It's like a stupid type of fun. Cause this is what he does. Like, this is what Paul Craig fucking does. I think the Vulcan fight was probably the more annoying thing, cause the Vulcan fight, he was doing well, and like the crowd understood what he was trying to do. But it's just, they're seeing what he was trying to do, and then once it stops working, it stops working. And then, like, once they see that the guy understands, it kind of reminds me of Ryan Hall in the featherweight. Constantly rolling, going for Imanari rolls, and trying to force 50-50, get into the Ashi position. And Craig is somebody, like, his fight against, I think the one fight, like, he'll get to the over-under position. He was fighting against Da Silva. That was like back in like 2016. We're gonna pull guard here if we can. And he pulls guard with he has I think an overhook on the right side of the arm. Starts to try to elevate his opponent. Da Silva gets to like feet on hips or something. Can we get it? No, we don't get it. Gets the feet on hips. Alexis stay in the dude's guard. And ends up getting his fucking arm snatched, bro. Like snatched from that position. Still somehow like tries to defend it, but it was like way too late. And that was what I didn't understand, because Da Silva had a point where like, yo, you don't have to, you're not obligated to play jiu-jitsu with the guy, right? If this is his game plan, get the fuck on out of there. And it reminded me of what I heard Jason Knight was saying against I think it was the opponent that he beat, Landon Quinones. And he was saying, dude, if the guy's a better jiu-jitsu guy, don't take him down. Like, don't take him down. It's that simple. And I didn't like that Jason Knight had said, like, no, you can taunt me all you want, you're gonna get in here. We're living and dying by this game plan. But Jason Knight said, you gotta be at least a brown belt or a black belt to be in the UFC, or you gotta be like a brown belt competing with black belts. I guess that would definitely apply to more people who are looking to grapple as part of their game plan, right? Because if you're a striker, you can be a blue belt, purple belt, really. You don't have to necessarily be a brown belt. It would also obviously help. But understanding what your opponent's offense what they need in order to make it happen. Like, right, they need their hands locked, so you make sure that they never establish wrist control, right? You make sure that you keep a joint isolated. You make sure that they don't cut the right angle. They don't have their elbow high on their underhook when they have to be pressed up against the cage so they can't back take you. Little things like that. If you're a striker, it's nice. It'll help you. It'll help you out exponentially. And yeah, he's Craig is nasty at off balancing people. Go back here. I think it was Chukwu. I think that was the guy's name, Chukwu. Like off balances him, and in an instant is able to snag the arm. Like, that's like little stuff like that. It's so cool. I think he kind of like used a little bit of a K guard. Could have been a K guard. I don't recall off the top of my head. I'm gonna get this takedown though. But yeah, definitely an interesting addition, and I would actually like to see him at middleweight. The one thing I don't like is that he doesn't. Like, I've been trying to input it, but I don't think he has the showcase the fucking foot underneath. The fucking highlight. That's hilarious. But it's he doesn't have the full guard sweep to mount, which I think out of anybody that should have it, he should fucking have it. I did like that when he should have the mounted triangle too. I'm pretty sure he should have a mounted triangle. Yeah, right now. These dudes are fucking. It's a freak. He's a freak. You can find subs from so many positions. You see, and there was another fight too. I think you can find a lot of the clips where I found like the fights to watch of him. There's in the UFC's channel. It's like this bonus resume, and seeing all those fights where he got his submission wins in, I was able to kind of like see, all right, this is the fight I gotta search for if I really want to emulate this, emulate this dude. But the clinch is a good position that he does kind of work from well. These guys, He is ready to. He is sprawling on all these takedowns, but it matters not to Paul Craig. Fuck. That's a stamina disadvantage. That's not good. No, he postured. Stop being smart and get in my fucking guard. No. Just how dare you make the right decisions? Oof, that's bad. Just gonna stare at him. Think I care? I'm Paul Craig. The Bear Jew is what they call him. The Bear Jew. It's an interesting name. Oof. There we go. No power, not much power at all. When he got added to the game, I think my showcase with him was pretty much along the same lines of just egregiously pulling guard over and over again. Hunting for the back. Stamina advantage again. The other issue is, too, is that if you mistime a takedown and you start to take body damage with Paul Craig, it adds up very, very quickly. The attritional damage is absolutely freaky. See here, and as you can see, like we're trying our best right now. Trying to get this guy out of there with the triangle, but John Jones' sub defense is pretty good. It's also a lot harder to sub somebody if the guy has better long-term stamina than you. It's not impossible, but unless you get a significant, I'm talking about like significant denial, right? He's gonna get up. I expect that. That's cool. That's cool. If he gets a significant denial, then he can kind of get the sub. Bro, he knows. He knows. He's just ready to deny everything. But if the guy, it's a little bit better if you're looking to submit somebody. If you can use your striking to make their long-term health go down, nice, and build a stamina advantage that way. Once you get on the ground and then you get a denial, the sub is going to come significantly easier than if you were trying to do so when you guys are on the same point. Of course, certain submissions. Oh, another knockdown. Certain submissions like, I know the ones that are banned from competition are like the side saddle arm triangle. I believe the standing guillotine is banned, not because of the strength of it, but because of the mix-up potential with it, where like somebody can cheese it all in all, back and forth, back and forth. Obviously in ranked, there's no rules, technically speaking, but usually when you'll see comp players run into each other, they will try to avoid doing specific subs. Hey, look. Hey, you understand? You understand? This is how Paul Craig works. This is how he works. You see that? I got no respect for my Johnny Walker, and the fucking Cormier was hit me with the no respect too. Really hurt my feelings. But there's like the back sitting rear naked choke. The strength of the sub is we're gonna open up with our hands now. He's been denying so fucking much. Another one. It's flying triangle. Fucking denies it. Come on. That back to the rear naked choke, it's not necessarily like, not just the strength of the position, but it's how it's a very easy position to get to back sitting. Because, if, for example, if you guys have to think of it not from like a player that's playing sim or trying to play like the fighter, assuming they're not a grappler, or anything quote unquote cheesy, the position where the strongest subs are easy to reach, right? If I can just go clinch this guy and go for a side saddle arm triangle sub, and I constantly fish for that for 15 minutes. Oh shit! Oh no, Paul Craig, no. Recover. Shoot. He sprawls. Pull guard. Grab his leg. No, he's gonna get up. Recover. Hold on, I was trying to be informational, and then you're just gonna go and rock me with a 6 to 12 fucking elbow to shit. I'm glad it didn't flash me. What I was gonna say is, like, if you're for 15 accelerated minutes, right, or for 25 accelerated minutes, all you're doing is fishing for the hip toss, right? Fishing for the hip toss, clinching, taking them back to the cage, and you're doing that for 15 minutes non-stop. Yes, a better player can counter you and make you pay for that. But now imagine an even better player that can not only can play clean, but can also mix all that up together. It is a very, very stupidly OP strategy. Like, it goes beyond. There we go. beyond like playing anything like a game. It's just like playing to win 100% of the time, and that's what makes those positions with those banned subs why they're there. I don't want to finish you with the ground and pound. I want to try to get a submission at least. If round 5, if we have to knock you out in round 5, we'll have to deal with that. But I do really want to try and submit you. But like the side saddle arm triangles one, back sitting, it's really easy to get to back sitting. It's really easy to get to back sitting. You take the guy up against the cage, back sitting is right there almost every time if they don't time the right window. You can also end up there if you threaten with the backpack. You know, you take the back and you jump up. You put them in that position. It's like striking, right? Where it's up or down. And is he going to get up? Okay. You shouldn't get up from side saddle. You shouldn't get up from there. Oh, but he's going to get up from there? You're not going to let me roll and knee bar you? How dare you? You fuck it. Alrighty. Run him. Then there's a north-south choke. North-south is not a position that people really deny often. It's a little bit faster than the crucifix transition. Oof. Woo! Bail. Take him down. There we go. So it's really like the mix-up threat potential that kind of leads to certain things getting banned from comp play. It's the same thing with a lot of like the spinning strikes. Like nobody really gives a damn if a guy throws it like once, right? Or once or twice. We know like, for example, spinning back fist animation's kind of busted. Spinning elbow animation's kind of busted. But when it's like the core thread of everything that you do, knowing that it has bug tracking, knowing that it's not the best thing, gonna foot sweep you, that's what really starts to annoy people. And that's where some people, they don't know how to make that understanding. Like, oh, okay, you can do it like here, trying to set up a certain thing with a certain fighter. You're gonna shoot. Of course you're gonna fucking sprawl. He should honestly just stay on top, deny me trying to go down, and then look to get a submission himself, because John has nasty submissions. Here we go. Now let me pull hard. But yeah, that's just my take on it. Of course, I would really like for the grappling to be a little bit more fleshed out, because trying to do this with Paul Craig for this long, it's gotten the fear of it's not allowing this John to open up. There we go. And when he does, he's getting kind of sat down. But I'd like it to be just a lot of positions that they can just flow from a lot better. Hey, hey, hey. Side step counter hook. We'll leave it at that. But it's just a lot more grappling positions that I would really like to see them add, because it would really, really help with the fluidity of different styles grappling-wise. They got to expand upon the cage, at least do something to make that position a little bit more difficult to get to certain positions. If they're not going to add anything else, it's just assuming that, of course. On the ground, something that'll make it a lot more flowy. Like, I don't know, maybe tweak the denial somewhat, do a little bit of something. But it was definitely a tough experience trying to showcase this man, Paul Craig. If he gets a W this weekend, great.